Okay.
But speaking Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senator Chuck Schumer are pushing legislation in S1 that would undermine West Virginia's election laws, taking away our power and putting Washington bureaucrats in charge of our elections. Their bill would allow partisan groups to collect thousands of ballots without supervision. That's currently illegal because it leaves ballots unprotected, without security, threatening the integrity of our elections. Worse, Pelosi and Schumer's bill would spend billions of public funds, your money, on political campaigns. Billions to subsidize politicians, even those receiving money from private donations. They want more money for politicians and more power for Washington bureaucrats. Call Senator Joe Manchin at 304-342-5855 and tell him we need safe and secure elections, not more wasteful spending. Tell him to stop the partisan power grab and oppose S1. Paid for by One Nation. www.onenationamerica.org.
You think buckling up is a personal choice? That it doesn't hurt anyone else? You would be wrong. Your choice could shatter the lives of your family, friends, and everyone you know. That's why we enforce seatbelt laws, to save lives. Think about that every time you drive. Buckling up isn't just a good idea, it's a choice between surviving a crash or not. Make sure you and everyone in the vehicle buckles up every time. Click it or ticket. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Rural King's pet food prices has pet lovers going, wow! Rural King offers the lowest prices on pet foods every day, like Diamond Naturals dog food. Made with ingredients of exceptional quality, Diamond Naturals dog foods provide complete holistic nutrition for that four-legged family member. Get a 40-pound bag of Diamond Naturals lamb or chicken and rice for just $28.69. Nobody beats that price. This is available in stores only at your neighborhood Rural King, America's farm and home store.
The Ohio Valley would like to welcome Airgas USA to the tri-state area, your one-stop shop for all your welding and safety needs. Airgas is the United States' largest distributor of industrial, medical, and specialty gases and related equipment, products, and services. Airgas carries more than 36,000 safety and welding products. Check out airgas.com with free ship to store on over 200,000 items. Or stop in to see us at 2208 Warwood Avenue. Mention this ad for an additional 20% off your first purchase. Some exclusions apply.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Monday. Cloud, sunshine mixing, a daytime high near 75. Overnight low of 52 degrees under mainly clear skies. Mostly sunny skies for your Tuesday with highs near 80 degrees. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
I'm not a Monday guy.
I'm not crazy about it either. I also don't like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays.
Are you ready to go? I'm warning you, I'm seriously stressed out here.
You always drink like this so early in the morning?
Isn't it a bit early in the day for the bottle? Even for you?
Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
Make the radio call.
It's time to get up.
It's time to hear that pop.
It's taking self-destruct in 5 seconds.
We are go for launch.
This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe and Brad Leonard behind the board in the producer's chair.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are ya? How are ya? How are ya? Welcome to a brand new Monday, a brand new week. Got lots of good stuff to do today. And boy, is it going to be not just a warm week. I see Zach's got warming on his 7-day forecast. It's going to be a hot week. We'll be right around normal today, and then this is going to go up and up and up into the 80s today. All that's coming up later on. Right now, it's 47 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. About 48 here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, 48 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Mostly clear skies, a few clouds floating around there. Going to be up to the mid-70s, low 70s actually today. Cloudy most of the afternoon, might see some pockets of sunshine. But again, the week is going to really warm up and warm up well. 7:12 in the morning on the Watchdog Morning Show. Biff, we've talked before about, once upon a time, you would go to a store and you would buy, some nice clothes. You'd buy a new shirt, or you'd buy a new pair of pants, or a new pair of shoes, and you would expect them to be nice and intact and, clean. You just spent money for them, brand new stuff. And then as we've talked, Biff, now you can buy, ripped pants, pre-muddied shoes, right? I mean, you can get shirts with the sleeves ripped off before you even wear them, because I guess this is, in some ways, a trend. I'll never understand it, but I guess that's true. And now, Biff, it's not just clothes. Now you can buy, are you ready for this? I'm not sure you're ready for this. Are you ready for this, Biff?
I'm sitting down, I'm ready.
Now you can buy a pre-rusted car. Now, I know a lot of people who would say, well, I have a rusted car. Do I get any more money for it? It's just a few little body shops that are doing this, apparently. They're customizing brand new cars to make them look like they've already been rusted. Why would you do that? I mean, what's the point of... I saw somebody on Twitter talking about this, said, well, because if you're going to put a new car in a bad neighborhood, that way it won't be, vandalized as much. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, look here, if you're concerned about your car being vandalized, don't buy a brand new BMW or whatever. Just buy an old car that's already rusted because it's old. But apparently these select auto body shops are now actually purposely covering brand new parts of brand new cars in rust. They primarily focus on just a couple little spots of rust, although they say for the right price, and no, it doesn't tell me the price, and that's the one thing I wish I had in the story, and it doesn't. It doesn't tell me what it costs. But for the right price, you can have your entire car rusted up. And they will seal the car then. They will seal your car so that it keeps its fresh rust look. Or it says you don't have to pay for the sealing. You can simply leave it alone, and then the natural course of corrosion will continue to rust it. Now, let me ask you, Biff, seriously, can you conceive of any possible reason, any reason at all, why you would want to buy a pre-rusted car?
I certainly can't.
I mean, most of us, when we see rust on our car, go, oh, got some rust on my car, got to get it off. But you can now buy a pre-rusted car. And it's another example of this world is too much with me anymore, Biff. I can't. There are things in this world that I do not understand. When I go to the store, and, well, of course, I don't do it. My wife does it, but when my wife goes to the store and brings me home a new shirt or a new pair of pants, and she says, hey, I bought you a new pair of pants. When I look at them, if they have holes in them, when she brings them home, I will say something like, honey, there's something wrong with these pants. They got holes in them. And she'll tell me, no, paid extra for the holes. Now you can do the same thing with your car. A pre-rusted car. And that's this little tidbit I thought I would share with you this morning as we got the show off and running. 7:16 and 47 degrees here on the Watchdog Morning Show. How's your weekend, Biffy? Good one?
Yeah, good weekend. Went to the hockey games on Saturday and Sunday. and we had a birthday party yesterday out at Wheeling Park at the Schwarzenegger shelter. So went there for a couple hours and then went to the hockey game after the birthday party.
Was it a pretty big party?
I wouldn't, no, not pretty big, just family.
Because my youngest son and his daughter went out to the park yesterday. They were going to go out and they like to go out and, hang out in the shelters and, and he said they went up to one of the shelters. I forget which one it was, but it was a birthday party. So they had to go somewhere else. I can't remember. I thought maybe they were, if I'd known it was you, I would have said, no, just go and tell them you're my kid. And you can probably go and join this birthday party.
Yeah.
Naylor game, no mask, right?
If you were fully vaccinated, but I believe they went on the honor system for both games. So yeah, if you were fully vaccinated, no mask. If not, you were required to wear one. I'll put that in air quotes because again, I think they went on the honor system. So
we're going to talk about that in more depth later on. And this is the problem now. Listen, I'm excited that masks can come off, and I'm fully vaccinated. You will be this week, right, Biffy?
Yeah, Wednesday. I go in
Wednesday, and then you got to wait a couple weeks before it actually takes effect. But so you'll be vaccinated. I'm excited about that. The CDC guidance is no masks. You don't have to wear them indoors, outdoors, unless, and we'll talk about this later, there are specific reasons, even for vaccinated folks, where you still should wear the mask. But the biggest problem I see is just what you mentioned, Biff. It's the honor system. And I've already seen people, and I wonder, why do you do this, people? But I've already seen people on social media saying, I'm not vaccinated, never wore a mask, not wearing one now, I don't care. It just, like somehow that makes them big men. I'm a big man, I don't wear a mask, and I'll do what I want to do. But that's the biggest problem is going to be it's all in the honor system. How are you going to know who's vaccinated, who's not? We're not going to check the cards at the door. We don't have any vaccine passport. Of course, I suppose they could turn the chip reader on, just read the chip that Bill Gates put into you when you got the vaccine. I'm only kidding, people. I'm only kidding. There's no chip in your vaccine. Really. There's no chip in your vaccine. I shouldn't joke about that, right? Because people that...
Oh, yeah, some will believe it.
It's somebody's go out and say, you see, I heard even Monroe knows that. I heard Monroe, he didn't want to say it out loud, but he was giving us the wink sign that there's a chip in there. No chips. That was just a joke. It was a bad joke now that I think about it. But it's all going to be on the honor system. It's all on the honor system. All on the honor system. We'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later on. You know what's not on the honor system, Biff?
What would that be?
Taxes.
That would be today.
Yes, today is tax day. Yours in?
Mailed mine Thursday afternoon.
Well, I mailed my check. God, I got to do something about that. I'm paying too much every year. And it's not because I'm making too much, it's because I'm not having enough taken out of my check. Yeah, I'm not having enough withheld. So I got to do something. So every year I have to stroke a check. So I wrote my check and mailed the check on Friday. And you know what's funny? The post office lady goes, you could have waited 3 more days. Yes, I know, but I thought I would get it in. New survey says 15% of the people wait until the last minute to do taxes. I would have thought higher than that, actually.
Yeah, I would have thought higher too.
Men think they know more about taxes, but women actually know more, according to this survey. And needs to say the biggest tax fear, I'm not sure I even went by this. It says the biggest tax fear we have is finding out we owe money. Now, obviously, that's a big deal. I think the biggest tax fear you have is being audited.
Yeah.
That's what you don't want to do, right?
No, you don't want anybody showing up knocking on your door.
No. Let's see, just some tax. So let me remind you, today is tax deadline day. Yes, normally April 15th, but for the second year in a row, because of the pandemic, it was extended by a month. And then because of the way the calendar dates fell, they extended it till today, the 17th. So today is your final day to file income taxes in the great state, well, of West Virginia, but in the great United States of America. So file your taxes. If you are not prepared completely and totally, you're still doing some work on that, and you got maybe some questions, you can file for an extension today. You can simply, it's a real simple form. Do I have the name of that form? Anyways, you can find it real easy online. It's a simple extension form. You file, I need to extend my taxes, and you mail it in, and it's automatic. However, the key thing to remember is, and I had this a couple years ago, you can file for an extension on your filing, but you cannot file for an extension on your paying. So if you're going to owe money, you've got to send your money in today, no matter what. If you just are worried about the filing, you can file a form, put it off for, I don't know what it is, a month, 2 months, I can't remember. But a couple years ago, I waited till too late when the returns came back. When the first draft, if you will, of my returns came back, my accountant says, it's a lot of money you go pay. And I said, well, let's file for an extension. He goes, okay, I'm going to file for an extension, but you got to pay. That was not a pleasant day. That was not a pleasant day. A few little tidbits off my tax survey here. Most Americans, 70% of us, take the standard deduction, especially after the tax reform bill of a couple years ago, where we get a higher standard deduction for the average citizen. So that was good news. We got a bigger standard deduction. I think it almost doubled, if I remember correctly. So that was good. The problem is, if you were the kind of person who itemized before, maybe you can't itemize now, and so it's a real iffy kind of thing. If you have enough medical expenses or charitable expenses or something to itemize and get an advantage of that, most people won't take it anymore. 70% of Americans take the standard deduction. 21% itemize. And here's a scary stat from this survey, Biff. 10% said, what's a deduction?
Oh, boy.
10% didn't know what a deduction was. I'd like to see their forms. I'd like to see their 1040, huh? Biggest fear is finding out we owe money, followed by making a mistake, not maximizing our refund. And then number, what is this, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5 is getting audited? Ooh, that's my biggest fear. Now, hopefully I'm okay, because I, in recent years, have an accountant do this. Used to do it myself. If you use one of those TurboTax things or one of those, paid programs, they're usually pretty good too. But I used to just get a 1040 form at the post office. I don't think you can do that anymore. I used to go to the post office, get a 1040, and fill them out myself, and then at the end and mail them in, and then pray, please, dear Lord, let me not make too many mistakes. I don't want to be audited. And if you get a refund, as many people do, what's the number one thing that people will do with their refund this year, according to the survey, Biffy?
I'm going to say spend it, but I don't know on what.
Pay off debt. Pay off debt. Which is never what I did with when I haven't gotten a refund for a long time. Do you get a refund?
Oh, absolutely.
What would you do? You just go out and buy something?
No, I mean, I'll probably put a little bit in the savings and checking, and then just keep a little bit just to have on hand.
Well, then you're in A, that's a smart thing to do, and B, that's what most people do. The number one thing people will do is pay off some debt. So if you got a credit card that you need to pay down, that's fine. Number 2, put it in savings, as you said you would do, or use it for living expenses. You get an extra check, maybe you can make an extra rent payment or something. That's possible. Invest the money if you have investments. And 1 in 10 people say that 10% say they would use it to treat themselves. And I think almost everybody, if you get a refund, you use part of it to do something, right? You do part of it to buy something you want that you maybe didn't have enough cash for. At least I think most people do. And here's a final statistic for you this morning. 1 in 14 Americans say they enjoy doing taxes.
Why?
Are you in that category, Biff?
Why? No,
no.
Actually, mine are fairly easy to do, so mine are not too bad. But still, it's just the fact that you have to sit there and do them.
Yeah, I can't imagine anybody saying, hey, this is fun. It doesn't work for me. I don't see anybody saying that. Now, I will say this. Every year at tax time for me is a good time to reassess my finances, Sometimes we don't always look at how much, you're bringing in or, but how much you're spending, where you're spending it. So, I mean, there's a moment when I'm preparing to take my taxes to my accountant. Again, I don't even try to figure them out anymore. There's a moment where it's helpful to me to see all the numbers together, but enjoy it. Like, hey, listen, Biff, you want to go have dinner and get a beer or two? Or should we just hang out in the house and do taxes? They don't seem to be comparable to me in terms of enjoyment.
Yeah, that would be a no-brainer. We're doing a dinner and a drink or two.
Exactly right. All right, so tax day today. I thought I'd just share some tax stuff with you. Please, my friends, don't get yourself caught. If you haven't done taxes yet, do them today. If you have to file for an extension, file for an extension. If you have to file for an extension, remember, if you're required to pay, you're going to have to pay today. You had a whole extra month. But you know what's funny, Biff? We had a whole extra month, and we're all still waiting to the very last minute to do it.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, when they put the deadline, they could have made it June or July, and it still wouldn't matter. We'd wait till the last minute.
Yeah. All right, coming up today on the Watchdog Morning Show, former West Virginia majority leader in the House, Rick Statton, is going to join us. He's written a piece recently about his concerns over dark money in politics in West Virginia. We're going to talk to him about that. With the CDC guidance now on mask wearing dramatically changing, Governor Justice rescinds the state mask mandate. But there still are a lot of questions about what all this actually means. We'll take a look at how businesses are responding and how much trust we have to have in everybody else to make this thing work. West Virginia and Ohio among the states rejecting extended federal unemployment benefits, claiming it's why so many jobs are going unfilled. But we're going to talk to Sean O'Leary from the Center on Budget and Policy in West Virginia. He says the data, and God help us, Sean is a data-driven guy. This guy lives in the world of numbers and figures. I'm amazed sometimes at him. He tells us that the data doesn't really back up this common claim that everybody's staying home because they're getting too much employment money. And Biffy, 60 Minutes did a deep dive last night into the U.S. military investigations into UFOs, or they now call them UAPs. Why did they change the name? We'll take a look at what 60 Minutes reported and actually going to listen into a couple of military. We're going to listen to some military folks who are actually watching as we listen live UFOs flying around. So I got all of this coming up. Maybe you've got something on your mind. If you do, 304-214-1600. 304-214-1600 is the text line. Let's check some headlines from our friends in the Big Seven. Mr. DeFabio will bring us our weekend sports wrap for you. And then Zach and I will talk about a very warm week coming up. That is all coming up here on the Watchdog Morning Show for a Monday.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's time for local.
Biff, I spent too much time on taxes, so save some spots. I'll do an extra break this half hour. That's my fault. I wasn't going to do that long on taxes, and then as I often do, I got to wandering. Okay. Who was it? I think Rick was telling me last week that one day you could literally feel it shaking in the building. Delightful. Delightful. Okay. Did you golf? No, not over the weekend. A lot of folks up at Rayland when I went to Dillonvale Church on Sunday. A lot of people out early. Yeah.
Night.
We're calling these the new billion-dollar solar panels. They're a new generation of super powerful solar panels that was just...
I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog.
Hey man, what can I get you?
There's one for you.
So Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube voted Best Wings USA.
Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need. Like a gas model RAV with up to $1,250 cash back. Or a Camry with up to $1,750 cash back. Or go with a Corolla and take up to $2,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places. Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, but where it goes is up to you. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need to take on anything the season has in store, like a spacious Highlander or an all-wheel drive Venza hybrid, both with up to $750 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places.
Washington County's largest gun show is back on Saturday and Sunday, June 19th and 20th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Washington County Fairgrounds. Admission is $7, and kids under 12 get in free with an adult. Everyone is welcome. They offer free appraisals and have great prices on all types of firearms, modern, military, and antique. They have over 450 tables with cash buyers on site for your used guns. Visit arhsportshop.com, or you can give them a call at 724-948-3571 for more information. That's 724-948-3571 for more information. It's the Washington County Gun Show, presented by ARH Sports Shop, June 19th and 20th.
Neffs. The watchdog is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Hoppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Neffs trusts the watchdog.
If you miss a part of the show or want to listen again, you can find conversations, interviews, and rants on our podcasts at Apple Podcasts or on WatchdogNetwork.com. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Yeah, it's the tax man. Tax day today. Don't forget it. 7:38, 22 till the hour. A warm week in store. Zach is up in a minute or two to talk about that. So stand by for your weather chat. 304-214-1600, the Watchdog Radio Network text line. If you choose to use it, you can. 304-214-1600. Happy to hear from you off the text line anytime over the course of the morning this morning. Biffy, finally, after having approved it several years ago, we are getting closer and closer now to having medical cannabis in West Virginia. It was been 3 years ago it was approved, I think? 3, maybe 4 years ago? Anyways, it's taken a long time to get this up and running, and we're getting closer and closer. An interesting tidbit I came across over the weekend, though. The West Virginia Medical Cannabis Advisory Board, wonder how you get on that, is considering allowing West Virginians, if you have a prescription for medical marijuana, to grow your own pot. Now, the original game plan was that the pot would be sold, the medical marijuana would be sold from dispensaries licensed by the state and scattered across the state, and that the dispensaries would be, you would go just like to a pharmacy, you would go to a medical marijuana dispensary. But a couple of the board members on the Medical Cannabis Advisory Board say that there probably won't be enough dispensaries all around the state for everybody, and that, in point of fact, some folks who have medical marijuana prescriptions may end up being a good bit away from a dispensary. Rusty Williams is a patient advocate on that board, and he says that our dispensaries are going to be pretty well spread out throughout the state. I'm worried we're going to have people who could potentially be a couple of counties away from access at a dispensary. Now, that actually does make some sense. So they're talking about letting people who have prescriptions for medical marijuana grow their own. Now, I'm not going to say I've done this, but I think it's conceivable you could walk into a house that somebody maybe just has a house somewhere, and you see some plants growing someplace in the windowsill or something. You go, then it look like petunias. No, it's my marijuana. I'm not saying I've seen anything like that, because that would be wrong of me to say that. But perhaps, if people do it without having prescription, can you imagine if people have their own prescriptions? And listen, I know folks who are getting prescribed medical marijuana now. If you have a medical marijuana prescription, you can start your own little pot plants. And come on, who doesn't? Let's be brutally honest about it. Let's be brutally. Marijuana is going to be medicinal. That's what's allowed in West Virginia. Let's be brutally honest about it, Biffy. Who has not borrowed somebody's pills, right?
Yeah. It's happened.
I need a little something, I mean, I'm not talking about meth or anything. I'm talking about just medical pills. Oh man, I got a bad cough. Like I still do. Do you have some? I'll tell you what, when I had a cough like that, the doctors prescribed this for me. I still have a few left over. Hey, can I just have a couple of those? Right, come on, let's be brutally honest. It's not right, but everybody has done that, right?
I'm sure at least once they have.
So what about pot? Hey man, I don't have prescription, but I think it might help me a little bit. Do you mind since you're growing your own, could you just give me a little bit? Just give me a little bit there.
Enough to get by.
I don't know. Listen, I think there is legitimate reason. This makes sense to allow patients to grow their own plants, because I do think it's probably true. There won't be dispensaries. In fact, some counties are refusing to allow dispensaries because they know, we don't want pot sellers in our county. So it may be that somebody who needs medical marijuana will have to go a long distance to get it at a dispensary, or they can grow it themselves. So I think that makes sense. But I see some potential for abuse there. Could be wrong, but I think so. Hey, it's 18 to the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show, and looks pretty pleasant outside right now. Kind of partly cloudy, but 47 degrees. That's not bad. We're going to get up to a real nice temperature today. But, man, is it going to get hot as the week goes on. Zach Petty is here from the Big Seven to talk about that. Good morning, Zach.
Hey, good morning, Howard. Did I just hear you say hot?
Well, I would say mid-80s are hot, wouldn't you?
Oh, I would be saying anything above 80 degrees is hot, but I agree with you. We're going to get into summer-like temperatures to end this upcoming work week.
Now, starting off, pretty nice today, fairly normal, a little cloudy, I guess, right? But basically,
yeah,
perfect temperature. You've heard me say it before. In fact, if I had to pick the specific temperature that I think is perfect, 72 is the perfect temperature for me.
Yep, I recall you saying that in a very spring-like day for both our high and low temperature, like Howard, you were saying. Low 70s for highs today. A couple of clouds building in, but we're still going to see peaks of sun and periods of sunshine, kind of reminiscent of what we had for the latter half of the day yesterday. The clouds still kind of built in and lined the skies, but there are still some pockets of blue with the sun streaming down. So expect that for most of the upcoming work week. Upper level moisture will stay relatively scarce, but still lingering around with some spotty cloud covers. I do expect most of us to stay relatively dry, but we actually do have some shower activity over into the eastern quadrant, the western quadrant. I'm always looking at the map and I always have to remember, okay, we're going out looking this way, it's west, but then whenever you're looking behind you, it's to your right, and it always throws me for a loop until I'm actually looking down. But some spotty showers could possibly develop for the southern counties, Tyler, Wetzel, if not the southern half of Monroe this afternoon. But most of us will stay relatively clear and just a spring day. But thanks to upper level warming, about 18,000 feet above the Earth's surface, is some pretty warm air. And that's going to continue on for the rest of this upcoming work week because, like you said, by Thursday, Friday, we could see mid-80s, feeling more like summer, Howard.
So today, perfect temperature, not quite the perfect, for me, the perfect day is sunshine, blue skies, light breeze, and 72. But at least we'll hit the 72 today. Not quite the perfect day, but it's going to be an okay day again, right? I mean, I'll take it. Let's put it that way. And then, as you say, the climb begins after that.
Yeah, the general warm-up will continue on. We'll go into the mid to upper 70s. We run into that problem, Howard. Where does 77 fall? So you have to say both mid to upper 70s, and then low 80s by Wednesday, and then mid-80s. Probably need to break out the swim trunks and go cool off in a pool if you have the capabilities of doing so, because it'll be hot. But the good news is, Howard, dew points or the mugginess looks to be relatively comfortable over this pretty warm stretch, and I I looked at the long-term dew point tracker, and all the values are staying in the comfortable thresholds. I don't think we'll have to deal with the mugginess that we typically deal with in the summertime.
We're going to see throughout the week, mostly sunny, but some clouds mixing in throughout the week, right? Looking at your 7-day graphics here, looks to me like Friday may be our very best day. Warm, our hottest, but also our best day as far as the sky conditions.
Right, yeah. Sky condition-wise, it looks like Thursday, Friday should stay relatively sunny. It's just so hard to predict the cloud coverage, just because there's so many different variables that go into the sky conditions. But from looking at model data and collecting what I was able to collect, it looks like the best sky condition day will likely be, again, Thursday, Friday, our two warmest days of the work week.
And then we begin to drop a little bit come the weekend, but it's still in the 80s, not the mid 80s, back down to the low 80s over the weekend as well, next weekend.
Yeah, and we'll stay relatively dry as well, so we'll probably need to break out the garden hoses and the watering barrels for the gardens, just because we won't have the free water from Mother Nature. So we'll probably see a lot of sprinkler systems out, if not kids running through the sprinkler systems. If once they get out of school, whether that be virtual or in person, they'll probably be running through the sprinklers in the afternoon, evening hours, and it'll start to look and feel a lot more like summer for sure.
And this weekend is the weekend they begin to fill the pool. You've heard me say it before. To me, the definitive beginning of the summer season is when Wheeling Park's pool gets filled. And I believe this weekend is the weekend they say they're going to start putting the water in the pool. So temperatures into the 80s. Water's going to start going into the pool at Wheeling Park. Summer's coming. Summer's coming, I'm telling you.
We're rounding the corner, Howard. Hopefully we don't have to deal with any more of those frost or freeze watches, advisories, or warnings, and hopefully we turn the page out of the cooler, unseasonable cold air for our region. And like you said, once the pools get filled with the water, and once we hit Memorial Day, then we hit the unofficial start to summer, according to you.
Well, Memorial Day begins the 100 days of summer. So I look forward to that beautiful stretch of 100 days from Memorial Day to Labor Day, where we just try to remember the days of our youth when summer was the time of joy. And the good news is this year we may be able to get out and do more things than we did last year, too. So they could be an exciting 100 days of summer this year. I'm looking forward to all of it, quite frankly.
Oh, yeah, I certainly am, too. I'm just excited to hopefully be able to take part or to head down to the Italian festival, maybe try to catch some of the I think there's a couple days where there's some food trucks down at the ports. I think that was on a Wednesday, so I don't know if I'll be able to ever catch them, but I'll try to plan a day on like a Friday or Saturday, hopefully to try to go try the restaurants and the food truck scenes themselves. But just all in all, try to just enjoy hopefully a more normal summer, especially compared to last summer, which kind of just felt non-existent.
If we don't have some kind of a resurgence of COVID, and I don't think we will, but I'll put that caveat in there, then I think we're about ready for a normal summer, right, Biffy?
Oh, I know. I'm certainly ready.
I could use a Sons of Italy hot sausage sandwich on Italian Festival Day, a little
Italian Festival, the Blues Fest in August. I mean, that's no offense to any other festival, but probably top five, two of my favorites: the Italian Festival and
absolutely,
and the Blues Fest. Love it.
Yeah, yep, yeah, I do too. And really, all of the festivals. And I haven't heard yet when the Chili Fest is going to be, if it's going to be, but of course I'm always a chili judge, so looking forward to that too. I'm looking forward to that too. Zach, anything exciting over the weekend? Did you just hang out, or what'd you do?
I got my second half of my couch, so I was finally able to complete the long ongoing endeavor of the Zach Petty couch woes. It has finally come to an end. I finally wrote the final chapter, closed the book, stamped it, and I sent it down the river.
How many months has it been?
Well, the very, very beginning of the process was late September was my first endeavors of trying to get a bloody couch, and now finally signed and stamped it off mid-May. So what is that? 5, 9, 3, 8 months. 8 months it took me to get a couch.
Well, hey, I'm glad you got a couch. A whole one.
Me too.
A whole one, not just
my
half of
bottom, my bottom and back is happy too.
Zach, better late than never.
Yeah, literally, right. What it seemed like a never.
All right,
it seemed
Zach,
like it would have been a never for me.
Yeah, there comes a point where you wonder, will it ever come? Are they just going to keep on telling me maybe next week, maybe tomorrow, you know? All right, Zach, appreciate your time today. Looks like a good forecast for us. Summer is coming. I like the sound of that. A little warmer than I like, in the mid-80s, but hey, it's summertime. I'm okay with that. Looks like
I agree.
Good day today, 72. 47 right now, and partly cloudy, it looks like, at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. All right, my friend, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
All right, sounds good. You guys as well. We'll see you.
8 before the hour here, Watchdog Morning Show. That's Zach Petty from the Berg 7, WTRF TV. Morning meteorologist extraordinaire. We'll talk about the masks and coming up in just a minute. It's mask off, but a lot of questions about that. We'll get into that. Also, there is a drive-through vaccination clinic. These are going to become more and more important. We got to get more people vaccinated. And we'll talk about vaccinations, a vaccination clinic here in the Wheeling area coming up this weekend. We'll talk about that. We're going to learn more today about the big multi-million-dollar lotteries in Ohio. So we'll mask off. Coming up next on the Watchdog Morning Show.
Let your voice be heard.
Okay. Excuse me.
To be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there is one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
WKKX and WVLY voted coolest couple in their high school yearbook.
You can watch a video cast of our show every morning on Facebook Live or on our website. Plus, check archives of all of our videos on the Watchdog YouTube channel. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
Good morning to those of you watching us on our Facebook Live video. Remember, Facebook Live is on my personal Facebook page, also on the Watchdogs Facebook page, so be sure that you're following both of those pages or friending both of those pages. I do ask you, if you friend my personal page, send me a direct message, a Facebook message that tells me you're a real human being. You know, Howard, I just sent you I just sent you a friend request or something. I worry a lot about scams and malware and all those bad things that can happen. I get an awful lot of really weird friend requests, and sometimes they're actual friends, and I look and I say, wait a minute, they're already friends of mine. Why this isn't another one? It's usually because, you know, there's a scam going on. So please, I want you to friend me on Facebook. I really, really, really do. But at the same time, send me a message and say, hey, I just sent you a friend request. Then I'll know that you're real, and I will be happy to accept it. So the Facebook page for me, the Facebook page for the Watchdog, is where our video is. If you are watching us on video, like it and share it. Like it and share it. Let other people join in the fun. Last week, the CDC said that those of us who are vaccinated, fully vaccinated, do not have to wear a mask indoor or outdoor, except in certain circumstances. And so Governor Justice, who had originally said the mask mandate in West Virginia would go away on June 20th, officially rescinded the mask mandate as of last Friday. So executive order has been signed, or at least he said he would sign one, to now say you do not have to wear a face mask in West Virginia for vaccinated people. Now, unvaccinated people are technically still required to wear masks until at least June 20th in West Virginia. But the question is going to be, as Biff and I talked earlier this morning, how are you going to know who's vaccinated and who's not? I mean, how are we going to know? I don't have to wear a mask. I'm fully vaccinated. Biff will be fully vaccinated next week or this week. So when you go into a store, we don't have to wear masks. But we look around and other people aren't either. Are they vaccinated, or are they just saying, what the heck, I'm not going to wear a mask anyway? I guess it doesn't make a lot of difference to me, because it's not going to bug me, because being vaccinated, you won't harm me. It's just going to harm other people. Maybe harm yourself. If you don't wear a mask, you could conceivably get COVID if you haven't been vaccinated yet. But we're gonna be on the honor system from now on. And I'm not so sure that, given the politics of masks, the honor system is a good place to be. Just because the CDC has changed its guidance, and in most cases states have changed some of their guidelines, does not mean that all businesses are going to stop requiring to wear masks. Walmart, Costco, Trader Joe's, Publix, among those, no longer requiring masks. Starbucks no longer requires a mask. However, CVS, Home Depot, Kroger, Macy's, Target, Walgreens, still requiring masks, at least for the time being. So you need to be very careful. Somebody without a mask around you, are they vaccinated or just obstreperous? Hey, it's 8 o'clock in the Watchdog Morning Show. Dark money in West Virginia. We'll talk about it next on the Watchdog Morning Show.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
As diplomatic efforts continue, the Israeli-Palestinian
All right, baby. Rick Staten, or Staten, coming up in the next half hour. He'll call it 8:10, supposedly. I heard from him last night, so I think he's ready, he said. I said, check on this. I'm just not sure. I should know it because he was a former legislator, but I don't know if it's Staten or Staten, so just let me know. All right. And I'm going to go get some more. Actually, I'm not going to have any more coffee. I'm going to go get some more water. I shall be back in a couple of minutes. Thanks.